All right. So, it has been noted. That was the first time that I've ever heard them say it has been noted in General Conference. Usually, they say it appears that the vote has been unanimous. So this is in regards to sustainment. In the LDS Church, we do what's called sustaining. We sit there and say, yes, I support the leaders of the church, or no, I don't support these particular leaders. And they break it up into sections, even at a ward level, they have callings, bishops, stake presidents, 70s, apostles, the prophet. And so basically through General Conference, you can sustain which group, you raise your arm to the square, and you can sustain which group you support or oppose. And apparently, there was a group of people, I heard around 200, that during the Saturday afternoon session, they opposed the sustaining of the apostles and the prophet. I wasn't able to interview any of them. I wasn't at that session. I was out talking with the protesters during that time, which is how I found out about it. Was someone on the inside had texted a kid that was with me that was talking to the protesters as well, saying that happened. And while I was listening to it, I did note that it was said, instead of saying it appears that the vote has been unanimous, they said it has been noted. And at a local level, if you oppose or if you don't sustain what is being proposed, whatever it is, if it's a calling or if it's an ordination or whatever it may be, what they'll do is they'll take you to the side and ask you, okay, what is the reason that you oppose? What are the reasons you oppose? And if they're found valid and they're found worthy of holding someone from being sustained, then that sustainment will hold off until that matter is resolved, or it might not happen at all. And whereas we have apostles and prophets who are already in their callings, I would assume a similar process would happen where these people that oppose would be asked to stay after and to give an accounting or give a report of why they oppose. What is it in particular that they oppose? To be heard is the whole point of the sustainment, and the whole point of asking if there's anyone that opposes is that they're supposed to be heard. And if there's valid reasons, if there are reasons why the prophet should not be the prophet anymore, then it would stop. I personally think that this was just a little political stunt. There's usually some sort of group of people that wants to get some attention, wants to get on the news, or what it might be. I don't know that this will make it to the news. It might. My guess is I don't think it was the women's movement. I would assume that it's a gay marriage group. People that are advocating for gay marriage would be my assumption. While I don't believe that that'll happen, at least not in my lifetime, I don't believe that gay marriage will be accepted within Mormonism. For various reasons that I've noted, and I think it has to do with the eternities a lot more than it has to do with this life. I think it has a lot more to do with creating life in the eternities, where gender is an essential part of creation. However, that aside, I don't know who it was. That's just a hot button political topic right now, which is why it's my assumption, but I don't know. I wasn't actually at that session, so I can't tell you. But it is good to note that we do have that process, that we can object to leaders that we do not sustain. And when our objections have merit, then they won't be sustained. But if it's just for some silly political stunt to get some publicity, then obviously they're not going to look much into that. So it remains to be seen what I learn, what I find out. I will keep you posted. I would hope that we all do sustain our leaders. I do believe that God has put them in place and has provided inspiration to others to put them in place. And I've received a lot of guidance, a lot of counsel from leaders, and a lot of counsel from those that are my peers. So I would encourage each of you to pray and to ask for guidance and revelation, whether or not our current living prophet is a prophet of God, whether or not that you can trust that and live by that teaching, live by that feeling that you get, and always trust God. God won't lead you wrong. He'll lead you to truth, and you'll feel it in your heart when you know it's right. And it's not going to be a feeling of hate or malice or a feeling of contention, but of peace and love and joy and happiness and goodness. God wants you to have those feelings, and the more that you love it, the more you'll have them. Just remember, you won't love it unless you live it.